Today we're going to talk about how to draw our first isometric drawing in SketchUp in 3D. First, we have to start a new document. We're going to use the feet and inches document template because that is the units I used when drawing it up the first time and when I drew up our sketches. If you have a mouse, you can use your wheel by pressing it down to orbit around. If not, you can look over here on your left-hand toolbar. You have the orbit tool right here. If you click that, you can also pan and zoom in and out using this tool. Most of your tools that you'll be using to manipulate your object are going to be on the left-hand side here. Then you have some style tools on your right-hand side and inserting specific objects. First, we are going to use the rectangle tool, and you'll notice the rectangle that comes up is blue. That means we're drawing in the blue axis. When we change axes, the color of our object and our shape and line will change based on what axis we're in. I left-clicked once down here at the corner and started to drag my mouse. That starts to shape my rectangle. Now that the measurements down in the bottom right-hand corner will change, I can type in the measurements for our base of our object, which is 10 inches, 10 inches, and hit enter, and that will make our object the right size. Before we go down, zoom into our object, I'm going to delete the figure so she does not get in the way of drawing. Next, we have a couple lines on the object. We're going to use guides, which is this tape measure tool right here. You'll notice next to the tape measure tool, there are two dashed lines and a plus sign. That means we are putting guides on our drawing. I'm going to come up here to this top edge because we need a line that is 2 inches from that top edge. So I'm going to click on the edge and bring it down, and I can type in 2 inches, and that will place that line. We also need a 2-inch margin on a line from the right edge, so I'll do the same thing. Then I'll come up to a line tool and I will draw those lines in. Then I'll use the push-pull tool here. You'll notice it highlights the area that we're going to push or pull. We can click on the area and start to bring it up. In this case, we need a 5.5 inch high piece. So I'm going to put in 5.5 inches. If you put in a decimal or a fraction, it'll still convert it to the fraction. And then for our base, we need a 1 inch base. Now for our angle, you'll notice we have an angle that is 5 inches long on this face right here. So we're going to get our guides back because our angle is 5 inches from that back line. And we're going to draw a line across there. You'll notice that line was red. We're drawing on the red axis there. It will jump to that end point, and we want to bring that line down to this end point. We also want to come over here Draw straight across. You'll notice again it's red. That's denoting our axis has changed. And then it will automatically snap to that endpoint. So we have that. This eraser tool will be helpful to get rid of your guidelines. If you just swipe over the lines, it'll highlight them blue. That'll delete them. We can also use that to get rid of our extra shape here. And that is the first object that we're having you draw